Yeah.
Joy.
I think we have to uphold the justice system when someone has been taken to court and to trial and the jury has come back with a verdict. What I have seen as an interesting and somewhat troubling trend is when the verdict comes back that isn't, or the police investigation or whatever, doesn't come back in the way that the person who has made the allegation wants. They just sort of try to take it to a different media outlet or another avenue. And I believe very strongly in standing up for child sexual exploitation. And for children, I have a very hard and fast rule of if a child comes forward, you need to believe them on sight. I mean, and my job is to protect the children, disabled people. If someone comes forward, that's it. They're vulnerable. They need our voice. But I think there is nuance and there is abuse that happens to men and women. And there are also vexatious claims that happen. And we have to sort of look at a way forward through this where we don't use this new culture of sort of obliterating each other as the way to sort of, deal with maybe many complex societal issues. So I think that's why we have the courts. That's why we have police investigations. We have those things in place. We should respect those mechanisms.
Well,
can I just say,
very
though,
quickly.
And I appreciate it's very quickly, but just a week, 2 weeks ago, there was a man that was sentenced to around 4 years in prison, of which he'll likely serve half his sentence. And he strangled to death and killed a woman who he was having a sexual relationship with and used the so-called rough sex defence. And that's all that he got. He'll serve, less than 2 years, around 2 years in prison? Is that all a woman's life is worth? I have no faith in the justice system if that's the kind of sentence that's dished out. Her 2 children now have no mother.
So I will say that the Conservatives, particularly Laura Ferris, she's a backbench MP in my intake, has just done an incredible job campaigning on this issue, the rough sex issue, and actually was able to change the legislation based on how much she was campaigning on this very, very, and it is a very important, incredibly important topic. And she has been able to change the law based on this one thing. So we can make these changes legislatively, but that's an example of something that actually a backbench MP took up, saw that there was a need in the legislation, and has moved things forward. And I know they feel like small wins, but those are the things. Those are the good things. That is the good thing about having a diverse parliamentary party.
Well,